it comes as a surprise to absolutely no one that the UN Secretary General has also blasted Israel, calling on it to cease and desist. Here he is.
It is important to also recognize the attacks by Hamas did not happen in a vacuum. The Palestinian people have been subjected to 56 years of suffocating occupation. But the grievances of the Palestinian people cannot justify the appalling attacks by Hamas, and those appalling attacks cannot justify the collective punishment of the Palestinian people.
And here's Israel's envoy to the UN being like, that's nice, buddy, resign.
You, Mr. Secretary General, have lost all morality and impartiality. Hamas, as the minister explained, beheaded babies, burned families, raped women, abducted kids, babies, Holocaust survivors. And the SG is blaming the victim? You are blaming Israel? This is a pure blood libel. This is a pure blood libel, and I think that the Secretary General must resign.
If only, but what a powerful message. That was Gillan Erdan. I love what he had to say there, just reminding people this is what we are talking about that has happened. I mean, that clip that we just listened to of a Hamas terrorist who just slaughtered 10 people and was crowing about it to his family,
parents,
using one of the dead women's phones, no less, and they were thrilled about it. It was like he was homecoming king. It was utterly vile behaviour. This is what we're dealing with, and that is the tip of the iceberg. If you've watched the footage, if you've read the stories, if you've got the inside scoop on what has happened and is happening on the ground in Israel, I can't think of a single human being who wouldn't join in wishing Hamas wiped off the face of the planet, and I hope they bury them with pig entrails. These people are animals. And yet, there we have the United Nations Secretary General being like, Israel, enough with the war crimes type vibe. This is utterly unforgivable.
And yet we should not be surprised. I did a little bit of research today. There's a great website called UN Watch, and they just keep an eye on what the United Nations
that would be
are
10
doing.
full-time jobs.
You know, between 2015 and 2022, so over that 7-year period, the UN adopted 140 resolutions against Israel.
Of course.
Do you know how many resolutions they adopted against all other nations combined?
Go on.
68.
Why am I not surprised? And here we hear this phrase again, collective punishment. So now the UN is accusing Israel of war crimes. For Guterres to come out with that is just absolute nonsense. And it's so funny to look, it's not funny, but to look at the way this has been portrayed, not only broadly in the media, but by, world-leading outfits like the UN, we're always told that, Israel is not the underdog here. Israel has the backing of the entire world. The poor put upon people of Palestine, they've got the world coming against them. No, it's plainly clear that is not what is happening. The agenda is all in favour of terrorists.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you expect that Israel would take a second's notice of any of this in the first place, right? Like, you're literally just pissing in the wind because, seriously, oh, yeah, sure, we'll just let them attack us and nothing's going to happen.
Oh,
Go
Penny
away.
Wong's tweeted again, guys. This one was a ripper. We've got to change
now.
courses.
But so this is the same UN, of course, that has a human rights council that has, I think they've got China on it at the moment. In recent years,
Iran was on the women's rights council.
Saudi Arabia, I think, was the chair of it for a while. They've only just recently allowed women to drive cars, for heaven's sake. So these are the arbiters of morality telling Israel, oh, you must do better. Meanwhile, the Human Rights Council is driven by people who have no regard for human rights at all. I'm surprised they haven't given Hamas a seat.
At all.
I know. Where's Hamas's seat on the UN?
I hate to bang on the same theme, right? But last year, the United Nations, they sanctioned North Korea once, Afghanistan once, Iran once, China not at all, Israel 15 times they sanctioned the only liberal democracy in the Middle East. You'd think they were the worst country on earth.
And so is it any wonder that we've just watched Gilad Erdan be like, he was almost pleading with people like, come on, this is insane.
Yeah.
This is what they did. And your General Secretary literally just told everyone that we're the bad guys and to stand down. I mean, the pleading, it's almost like, I'm not crazy, you're all crazy, trying to reason with them. It's hard to watch.